So my hope is to make a beat kind of all in one quick stream of consciousness. I typically don't like making music this way. I like to spend a lot of time ruminating about each little part. So this is a good exercise. Sometimes I find it annoying, but yeah, this is just going to make me commit to ideas more, I think. So let's give it a go. I really like the sound of the 404's pitch shifting, so I'm gonna try to record a sample at a slower speed and then pitch it up just to get that vibe, and then chop it up and make a beat. Let's see what happens when we chop it up and change the pitch. So here I am exploring the different pitch shifting algorithms. You've got the vinyl one, which changes the pitch and the speed and degrades the sample the least. And then you've got the digital kind of grain stretching one, which also imparts this kind of big crushy low sample rate effect. So what I actually did is combine the two. I pitched it up 2 semitones with the vinyl, and then I did another semitone with the digital algorithm just to get some of that degraded sound, but just a little bit, not too much. I like where this is going. This is already pretty well in time. The question is always, do I want to punish myself and make more chops, or should I just leave it like this? But I'll definitely be able to have more fun with it later if I just fucking spend the time and chop it up more right now. So I'm going to do that. Imagine having to do all of this and without the visual of the transients, just doing it by ear. Because people used to do that with the older versions, which is just fucking madness to me. It's so crazy though that when I put fixed velocity on, the volume jumps so much, meaning that to achieve all those velocities, I would have had to fucking smash this thing every time, which is kind of crazy. Should be easier. I'm sure there's a way to change the velocity curve, but I should look into that. Ooh, that would be nice for an intro for sure. You know, I think that has enough character with the cassette, the 404 sim, and the pitch shifting. I think I'm overthinking it at this point. It's time to just try to make a beat. like the happy accidents that happen when you chop up a beat, you know? That's why we do this. No lo-fi beat is complete without taking the chords and sidechaining them to the kick. So let's see what that sounds like. Ooh, the compressor sounds pretty nice on that, even without the sidechaining. But let's make that kick. Oh, okay, that was necessary. That's one thing that the machine has going for it, you know, like for all of its faults, it's got a really nice sidechain compression. You just point to the source, like the settings are kind of already set up nice, you know, good 10 dB of gain reduction. You know, maybe he's got an amount knob, which is nice. You can kind of just blend in how much you want. Let's make it really sidechainy. One thing is the threshold affects the overall gain, so I learned that the hard way and like almost blew some speakers, turning the threshold way down, not realizing you have to balance it with this output gain. And there we got some lo-fi vibes already. It's definitely like could use some bass and maybe some effects and stuff, but that's kind of the outline of like a lo-fi idea already, you know? Shit's supposed to be easy, you're not supposed to overthink it. Note kind of sounds like an upright bass. That's kind of sick. I was debating whether or not to leave the 404 effects on the bass or just record the bass in clean, because the effects remove a lot of the low end. But I like that sound. It sounds more like a sample, because oftentimes, you know, you pitch up a sample, the bass comes up, and you lose the low end, but you gain intelligibility of the notes. So the bass is still functioning like a bass to affect the harmony, which is really nice. But you don't get that muddiness or the low end clashing with the kick, because the kick is really what's supporting or like filling out the spectrum and giving you that big subby low end in the 60 hertz range. I've been really trying not to make the attack on the compressors too fast to my bass these days, because you want to get some of the quality of that bass attack. Yeah, 6 milliseconds never hurt a bass part. You just really want the thump of the kick to like not be building up too much low end with the bass. Honestly, this bass is, like I said, it's so high in the frequency range that it doesn't really even need to be sidechained. The sidechaining is more of just like an aesthetic thing. So if you're wondering why I have the pedal board on a stand, it's so that I can reach over and affect the knobs. Especially with delays, it's really fun to play with the time knob, because then it glitches out and does all this crazy shit. Same with the tensor. The tensor, every one of the knobs is really fun to play with. And you can assign any of these knobs basically on the Strymon or the Red Panda to an expression pedal, but you're limited to one parameter and there's a ton of knobs. And then, yeah, it's kind of one of the benefits, I guess, keys players have over guitar. They can turn knobs and play chords at the same time. I've always envied that. pretty repetitive. That's the only issue right now. I don't know, is this beat trash? Let me know in the comments. Roast this beat in the comments. You see right there. The delay trails go all glitchy because I changed the time. So I guess it like ramps up the pitch as well and changes the grain size like smaller. Candy elements from the guitar kind of adding some of that higher end, that sparkly, but you know, could use like a xylophone, I feel like, or maybe some vibes. But I'll do that in the DAW afterwards because it's just 10 times easier. And I'm too lazy to set up everything, and my keys are buried underneath a bunch of gear right now. So that's it. That's a wrap. Upload this beat to my Patreon that's on my website, and yeah, there's a bunch of other beats on there. If you like my music, I encourage you to check it out and roast this beat in the comments.